Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So a few months ago, I was debugging a service that suddenly started behaving strangely. So what was happening is some requests were taking longer than usual. A few requests were failing here and there. Nothing major enough to trigger a full outage alert. So I did what most of us would do first by running Docker logs, and I found literally nothing. Now, this was very weird because the container was running, health checks were passing, the service was still accepting the request. So up to this point, what I did is I called the application team and asked, hey, are you guys actually logging anything? And they said, yeah, we log every request, every error, and everything is there, what it is supposed to be there. And that is the moment something clicked into my mind. The logs were actually not missing. The application was generating the logs whole point of time, but I was just looking in the wrong place. The app was writing the logs somewhere where Docker could not even see. And that part is very annoying because nothing was actually broken. Docker was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. But the real problem was the way the application was configured. So in this video, we are going to reproduce this particular issue from scratch and understand how Docker actually captured the logs behind the scenes. And we will figure out why a Docker log sometimes shows absolutely nothing, even when the application is logging correctly. And we will learn how to track down where the logs really went and then fix it properly so it does not become a painful production issue later point of time. So without any further delay, let's jump into the video. So the first question which we would like to ask ourselves is how Docker exactly capture the logs, right? So before we recreate the problem, this is the thing which you need to understand the first, because once you understand this, the rest of the issue starts making sense immediately. So when Docker starts a container, it does not magically know where your application logs are, because Docker is only watching two things from your application process. One is your STDOUT, second one is your STDERR. That's it. So think of them like two pipes coming out of your application. Anything your app sends through these pipes, Docker can see it. Docker can capture it. It can store it on the host machine. And when you run Docker logs, that is exactly what you are reading. Let's say your application write your log somewhere else, maybe into a file, maybe syslog, maybe to some custom location. Docker does not automatically go and look over there. From Docker's perspective, those logs don't even exist. So when you run Docker logs and get nothing back, it does not automatically mean that logging is broken. It does not mean that your application stopped writing the logs. It could simply mean the logs went somewhere where Docker was even not watching. Docker is actually doing exactly what it was designed to do, but the real problem is sitting inside your application configuration. Now let's reproduce this and see what that looks like in practice. For this demo, I'm keeping the setup really simple. So we are using Docker, Node.js, Express, and Winston, right? So now, if you have worked with Node application before, you probably seen Winston already. It is a quite popular logging libraries which is out there. And one thing Winston support is multiple output types, right? You can write logs to the console, you can write them into files, or you can even send them somewhere else completely. And that is very important. And if you don't know about Winston, you can just Google it, or if you want, I can give a link in the description. You can read more about it, because today we are intentionally choosing the option that's going to create the problem within Winston. And I have replicated this into my small project into this particular folder. So for this particular project, I have installed Express and Winston already using npm commands. It's pretty simple. And inside the project, we are going to keep just three files. One is your logger.js, one is your application.js, which is our application code, and third one is our Docker file to wrap everything inside it. Nothing complicated, very simple. Let me show you the interesting part. So inside this logger.js, we are just configuring the Winston, and at first glance, everything here looks normal. Nothing is wrong. In fact, this is pretty normal because I have seen this kind of configuration in production many of the time. So instead of sending logs to the console, Winston at this moment is writing them into a file locally, which we call it as app.log. And if you are developing locally, this feels completely reasonable because you get a clean log file. You can open it, you can search through it, you can debug things easily. There is no problem of that. But remember what we talked about earlier, Docker only watches stdout and stderr, and our application is not sending anything there at this point of time. And it is writing into a file inside the container with the name of app.log. So we have already created the problem with this file, but we have just not seen it yet. Now, coming back to my app.js or application, which I have written, it's also very simple. So we have one endpoint that returns success, another endpoint that throws an error, and every request gets logged and every error gets logged. Nothing fancy over here. Now to package everything, we have our Docker file, which is again very simple. A simple setup: copy all, run the npm commands, expose 3000 port, and run the application. That is honestly is exactly the kind of a thing a developer could hand over in production to you at first glance whenever you are starting with a new product or new project within your company. Now let's reproduce the problem. I'll just first build the container. Simple. I will name it as logs demo. Done. Now I will run the container by exposing the port 3000, and container is running. Now everything looks healthy. Container is running. Now let's generate few requests, normal request and couple of few more requests as well by hitting the application port, curl, second, hitting the error endpoint. Then I will again hit the endpoint there. So at this point, Winston has already logged everything. Requests happened, errors happened. Logs should exist somewhere in the file. Now let's do the thing we would normally do during an incident by running Docker logs. And I have just showed you there is nothing exactly there, absolutely nothing. And this is where people usually start getting confused because the application is working, container is healthy, requests are succeeding, but the Docker logs is showing absolutely nothing. Now let me prove that logs exactly exist, but it is not getting transported to the Docker logs layer. Let us find where exactly the logs went. Let's jump inside the container. I will just get inside the container, and here now let's look around what exactly is there. So inside this, there is the logs folder. If I get inside it, I can see there is already a app.log is there. And if I do see it, the logs which we have been looking, every request, every error, and everything is sitting there perfectly how we are supposed to look inside the Docker logs. So we can assume that Winston, which we have implemented within our app, was logging whole point of time, but the application was literally not broken. Docker was also not broken. The logs is simply went inside a file inside the container. Now let's go one step deeper. I want to show you something really useful by showing the file descriptor within the container itself. So if you know, in Linux, every process communicates through file descriptors, and they are basically numbered handles that points to files, socket, pipes, terminal, etc. So here, if you can see, the FD0 is standing for std-in or the input, FD1 stands for FD1 or std-out or normal output, and FD2 stands for std-error or the error output. So if I am just looking into this, I can see there is literally nothing inside this particular std-out. And if I do cat2 to the file descriptor, there is also nothing. What exactly is happening here? Nothing meaningful is being written to this, and Winston is writing to a file instead of writing to std-out and std-error. So from Docker's point of view, the application looks completely silent, and this is usually my first check during whole debugging if I am not finding anything during the Docker logs empty. So before calling anyone, before making any assumption, exec into the container, check where the output is actually going, then decide what to do. Now we know exactly what is the problem, how to fix it. So now there are really two paths which you can follow. One is the proper fix. Second is the temporary fix. So whenever you are in a incident situation, first thing first is that you have to remove the fire or you have to take out the fire immediately. So in this case, what we need to do is we are seeing that logs are already there and you are middle of an incident. You cannot deploy a code change immediately. We need to fix a temporary workaround. What we can do, we can mount the logs directory outside the container from the container, and the file becomes accessible directly from the host itself. Not a permanent solution, but sometimes you just need visibility immediately to the logs. That's what you can do. How you can do? You can run that particular container using a volume mount for a temporary workaround. You can use something like this, and it will create a local path where the logs will be mounted, and you can get inside it and you can check whether the logs are available or not. And if you can see it, the logs are already getting shipped. So this is about the temporary fix, which we are particularly doing, right? What exactly can be the permanent fix? So for fixing it properly, so what we will do is instead of writing the logs into a file, we will change Winston to use the console output. As you can see in the transport, instead of writing to the file, what we are doing is we are letting know Winston to use console output. That's it. One simple change which we are doing, and we will fix the particular issue. Now rebuild the particular container again. I will save it. Now let's build it. So building it, I will rename the container. I will use a new name for this particular container as a demo fixed, and I will run it. Let me run it. Okay, it is now run. Let's generate some traffic. Generated. Now, if I do Docker logs, I will be able to see all the logs which is associated to it, right? Same application, same request, same logging library, nothing literally changed. The only thing which we changed was where exactly the logs were going. Now Dockers can see them, your log pipeline can see them, your monitoring logs or monitoring tools can also see them. So now that you have resolved the incident, you can't just let it go. You have to inform your developers, or you have to educate your developers as well. So what you need to explain is not about letting them about the Docker internals, or you don't need to go into how STD works by start drawing diagrams in your whiteboard or whatever. You just need to tell them what exactly you have found. Something like your application was writing the logs to a file inside the container. Docker only captures what goes inside the STDOUT and STDERR. So Docker logs and the logging pipeline could not see the logs files, and the application itself is logging fine, but the output is going to the wrong place for a container environment. So for production switch, the logger to console output. So if you still want the file logs for local development, make it configurable using an environment variable. And honestly, if I want to tell you from my point of view, most of the developers understand the issue immediately, because this is usually is not some huge mistake, because a lot of people set up file logging while developing locally because it is much easier to debug that way. Then the same configuration quietly follows the application into production, and nobody literally notices because technically nothing is broken until somebody starts debugging an incident and suddenly all the logs look empty. This is one part of the problem which you could face during your incident, or maybe one point of time where your application is not writing the logs properly. It is getting handled differently. That is why you are not getting properly. There are other patterns as well with respect to same Docker logs missing, or Docker logs is completely empty. Maybe your Docker logs will be logging some information, but some information might be missing. For example, to one more type of problem, we call it as output buffering. What exactly it is? So sometimes what happens is your application generates the logs, but it takes time to write it to your particular STDOUT or your console output, because it tries to hold it within the memory. If sometime your application is crashing, in that time you won't be seeing the logs because log is sitting inside the memory. It has not passed on to your output, right? Or your console, it has not passed. So during that time, you will be missing the logs, or you might not be seeing the log. And that particular problem, we call it as output buffering. Second type of problem we could see is the log rotation problem. Sometimes what happens is that your application is usually writing a lot of logs, and your system has already enabled with a log rotation policy, and you want to let's say troubleshoot a issue which occurred 7 days back. In between, your log has been rotated. If you want to try to see those logs during that time, you might be seeing nothing inside the Docker logs, and you might be again in a dilemma that logs are missing or something is broken. But that is not true. The log rotation has been enabled, or log rotation has been triggered, for which your logs has been archived, or it has gone to some other system for which you are not getting the logs. And this is quite common, which happens very often, and there is no surprise to this particular problem. Every one of them needs a different types of fix. And there is one more thing which I want to mention before we finish. So everything we did today, getting logs into STDOUT, writing how exactly we are handling the logs inside the app, that is really just step one. Because in production, what happens is nobody literally SSH into the server and run the Docker logs all day to see the logs. In production, instead, what we do is we get shipped somewhere else, some external system. Your application write the log to STDOUT. Docker can capture it. Then we can use some tools like Promptel or FluentBit to collect those logs and send them somewhere, or centralized logging systems like Loki. And then we can use Grafana, and where we can exactly search the logs, we can create the alerts, and we can investigate incidents like CPU, memory, network usage. All we can collect through Prometheus. So everything ends up in one place. And that is why STDOUT matters a lot. And it is not just a Docker logs, how exactly it works. STDOUT is basically the front door to your entire observability pipeline. Because if your application write logs into some random file like inside the container, the pipeline cannot ever see it. no logs will be seen in Loki or Grafana, anything. So this kind of setup, which we do, is a very much production sensitive configuration, which most of the enterprise does in multiple different ways. This is not something which we can cover in this particular video. Let me know in the comment boxes you want to see how exactly you can completely create a observability pipeline for delivering your Docker logs. I will be happy to make such videos in future, but that is something not is intentional for this particular video. But just to give you a gist about how exactly logs are being shipped, this is how a complete observability pipeline can be created for shipping your logs inside your production environment. Here is one thing I want to remember from this particular video. Docker logs is not showing you your application. It is only showing you what your application sends to STDOUT and STDERR. So the next time when you run Docker logs and nothing comes back, don't immediately think or don't panic or don't assume that application is not logging. Ask a different question like, okay, where did the logs actually go? Because most of the time the logs exist. There are just somewhere where Docker is not able to look. And that small shift in thinking changes the whole investigation, because that is the difference between spending 10 minutes finding the problem and spending 2 hours debugging the wrong thing. So if you have run into same kind of problem before, drop it in the comments. I'm very curious to know where your logs are hiding. Maybe a file inside the container, maybe inside some external logging system, or maybe somewhere more painful. I will definitely love to hear your story. Please hit that like button if this video has helped you to develop a mental model, how you exactly think about Docker logs missing from your production system. And if you have found this video useful, then subscribe to our channel for more such contents in near future. So with that, we end today's video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.